Live streaming, all I can say is you're very smart. You didn't have to bear the roads. It's not that it's that bad, but so if you're in your cozy home, have your mat a couple of blocks or stacked books, and then also a blanket either to sit on or for comfort. My name is Brenda. This is Gentle Yoga. Let's get started. And then welcome to everyone in studio. Thanks for braving the roads. So find a comfortable seat. If you don't like cross-legged, you don't need to be cross-legged. You could come to kneeling or extend one or both legs. So we got one more person coming in. This is a gentle style of class. That being said, please take it where you need today. If you want a little more movement, change up anything, bring in a little bit more motion if you would like, or you could always slow it down as well, depending on how you are feeling. We are going to start in a comfortable seat and just take these first few minutes to center in, focus in on our breath. So hands can either be down on your lap for more of a grounding sensation. If you feel like you need to feel like you need to be more rooted, or maybe palms come up for more of a receiving gesture. Roll the shoulders back and down, maybe with a big old sigh. And then close the eyes down. Begin to focus a little bit more inward. So wherever your day has taken you this morning, just gonna come into this space in this moment. So just blocking out some of the visual distraction by closing down the eyes, or if you prefer a soft gaze in front. And then notice your breath without manipulating it just yet. Just kind of notice how you are breathing. Notice where you mostly breathe. Is it more in the chest or in the belly? And then we're going to be a little more intentional with how we breathe. So exhale out all the air in the belly first. And then on your inhale, breathe in through the nose, slow, starting with the low belly, the rib cage, and move it up into the chest, keeping the shoulders relaxed, and a slight pause at the top. And then slowly exhale, chest, rib cage, finally belly, pressing out all the air. And we're gonna move through that wave-like of breath. You might be a little bit different pace than mine. That's perfectly fine. But just beginning to feel the expansion in the belly and the rib cage. Slight pause at the top, just to hold the breath for just a moment. And then whenever you're ready to exhale, slowly letting it release till there's no air left in the belly. Even kind of like press the belly button in a bit. And move through that just a few more times. When we slow down our breath and become more intentional of how we breathe, the nervous system gets the signal that it is safe. And that is okay to be a little bit more calm. Our world makes it very easy for us to be addicted to the stimulation that we are constantly surrounded by. And I get it, we have to all function in this world. But we also need moments of less stimulation, of rest. Drawing one more cycle of breath and inhale, and maybe an exhale out the mouth this time if you would prefer, or out the nose. Letting the jaw relax, let the tongue drop down to the lower palate. And we're going to breathe in and out of the nose. Exhale it out. And then bring hands together at heart center. Thumbs press into the heart space. Give yourself a moment here to connect in and ask yourself, what do I need for myself right now? And that's not a selfish question. It's something really simple. So not necessarily a long to-do list, but what do you need? Is it a sense of peace, security? Maybe it's more like expansion, connection to spirit. It's kind of whatever pops in the mind. You don't have to think about it too much. It's kind of intuitively what comes in for you. And relying on this inner wisdom, this intuition to guide us through our practice. Trusting that we know what we need when we allow ourselves to center in, to slow down, breathe a little bit deeper, and giving ourselves that sacred space. So saying that intention that you created of what do you need? Use that short phrase or word to keep you centered mentally and emotionally throughout our practice. And then blinking the eyes open, letting the light come in. And we'll inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Gather up all that energy you created. Your thoughts are all around you. Exhale, hands to heart. And our thoughts are some of our most powerful energy. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up again. This time, bend the elbows, cactus the arms. So you're squeezing the shoulder blades, open the heart. One cycle of breath here. And then inhale, sweep the arms back up. Exhale, we're going to forward fold. So hands land down in front of you. Release the head and neck. Sway a little side to side if you would like. Get into the side body. Notice if you're clenching your jaw or if the muscles around your eyes are really tight. So see if you can just move them loosely. Maybe you blink the eyes. Maybe you move the chin side to side to loosen up the jaw. Where are you holding on in the physical body that you can release and let go of just a tiny bit more? One more deep breath. Exhale it out first. On the inhale, arms rise up, fingertips reach up to the sky. Again, we'll bend the elbows, cactus the arms, squeeze the shoulder blades. Deep breath here. And then exhale, hands land down by your side. We're going to switch the cross of your legs if you're cross-legged. If you're kneeling, just stay as you are. And then root down through the sit bones here. Inhale, arms reach out and up. Exhale, right hand comes down, leaning to the right. One deep breath here. Inhale, bottom arm reaches up. Exhale, cactus through center. Inhale, fingertips reach up. Left hand comes down, leaning left. Deep cycle of breath here. Inhale, bottom arm reaches up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, fingertips reach up. Exhale, twisting to the right, opposite hand to knee. Look over the back shoulder. One cycle of breath here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, sweeping up through center. Exhale, cactus. Inhale to rise. Twisting over to the left, opposite hand to knee. Look over the back shoulder. Inhale, rise through center. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, rise. And then exhale, forward fold again. Hands come down to the earth. Release the head and neck. Again, you could sway if you'd like. You can move the head and neck if that feels good. Exhale it out first. On the inhale, rising back up, fingertips reach up, lengthen first. Exhale, hands to heart, pull that intention into the heart space with love and light. One breath. Exhale out. Good. Let's lean back onto the hands. Bring the feet out in front of you, a little bit wider than hip width apart. I'm going to come off my blanket. I don't need it. We're going to tick-tock the knees from one side to the other. Just getting into the hip joints a little bit more. And then even out from side to side. Coming back through center. We're gonna bring the soles of the feet together, knees wide, bigger, like diamond shape, if you will. Root down through your sit bones, maybe rock it a little side to side. Inhale to a tall spine. And then we're gonna begin by leaning forward to begin. So nice tall spine, not rounding just yet. If you'd like, you can do the magic foot massage, take your thumbs. It is magic, especially when my feet have been stuck in these big winter boots all morning. So it's gonna work out the soles of the feet. Notice if there's any areas that feel maybe a little tight or sticky. This is also really good to help us feel a little more grounded. And then take a deep inhale. And then exhale, we're gonna round forward, release the head and neck. You could bring the elbows to the sides of the lower legs to gently press the hips more open. They may not be there yet, and that's okay. Couple more deep breaths. Releasing in the neck and the shoulders. And then on an inhale, let's slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Use your hands to seal the knees together. We're gonna lean on back to engage the core. You can keep the soles of the feet on the floor if you'd like. Hands could come to the back of the thighs. We're setting up for boat, but this can also be your boat if you would prefer to stay right here. If you feel like you wanna lift your feet up while still maintaining that nice strength in your core. Option to release the hands if you would like, bring them forward. Just beginning to activate our pelvic floor muscles. Heart is coming forward. Couple more deep breaths. Notice the heat in the belly, maybe the low back. Stay for an inhale. And then exhale, lowering the feet down. Bring the legs off to the side. We're gonna meet in a tabletop position. So you can bring the knees to the side or roll over the knees, whichever makes more sense for you. In your tabletop position, spread the fingers nice and wide. Line up the wrists and the shoulders. Bring the knees about hip width apart, or maybe a little bit wider. We're gonna get into our cat-cow. So on your inhale, drop the belly, shift the gaze forward. Whenever you're ready to exhale, round it out. Chin tucks into the chest, arch the upper back, press into the palms. And then again, inhale into your cow. We move at a pace that feels synchronized with your breath. So the breath initiates the movement. That will help us begin to really listen and tune into what our body wants, the pace that it wants to move at. And it might be slower today than yesterday, or maybe it's quicker. If you'd like to add some side to side movements or rolling movements, if that's kind of calling to you, add that in. If you like the traditional cat-cow, stick with that. We'll do a few more rounds of our cat-cows. If you're going from side to side, just kind of even it out. So each side has had equal number of times. And then finishing up your cat-cows, let's come back to a tabletop position. Keep your knees and hips just as they are. We're gonna come into puppy. So you'll walk the hands out towards the top of your mat, about a foot, and lower the forehead down. If your forehead does not easily reach the mat, grab one of your blocks or a couple of stacked books. Have your forehead supported on something. And then draw the belly button slightly up towards your spine. That just keeps your lower back from overswing into the lumbar. Breathe so deep you feel as if your spine is just lengthening with every inhale and softening with the exhale. Couple more deep breaths. And then on an inhale, press into the hands, lift up and walk your hands about halfway back. So not quite lined up with your shoulders. We're gonna set up for thread the needle. So we're gonna inhale, sweep the right arm up toward the sky. And then sweep that right arm underneath the left. Right side of head comes down. Left hand could stay where it's at if you'd like, or you could reach it toward the top of the mat. Again, tune into your breath. See if you can breathe so deeply your shoulder blades separate a little bit on the inhale. And they expand, and then exhale, soften. This is the back door to your heart. See if you can create a little bit of space there with the movement of your breath. One more cycle. Inhale and exhale. And then the left hand comes back in front of the face. Inhale, sweep that right arm back up, lengthen it towards the sky. And then right hand comes down. Same thing, other side. Left arm is going to sweep up. You're going to weave it underneath the right arm, bringing the left side of the head down. Option to keep right hand right where it's at, or reach up towards the top of your mat. Again, focusing at the back of the heart, and see if you can use your breath to create a little bit more space and softening. Exhale fully. Slide that right hand back in front of the face, and inhale, sweep that left hand back up toward the sky, lengthen. And then left hand lands back down, back into our tabletop position. So we'll line up the wrists and the shoulders. Take that right leg and extend it long. Keep the right toes tucked onto the mat. And I'm going to have you lean on back. So push into that right big toe. We're going to lengthen out the lower leg on the right side. One more breath. And then inhale, shift forward, line up the wrists and the shoulders. I'm going to pick up this right leg and bring it behind the left hamstring. So it's going over to the left. Look over your left shoulder. Peek at your right toes there. See if you can lengthen out through that whole right side body. So from the right hip all the way up the side body. One more breath. On the inhale, picking up that right leg, bring it back through center, and then bring the right knee down to meet left. And then we'll come to the other side. So extend the left leg this time. Keep the left toes tucked on the mat. And lean on back. Push into that left big toe. Lengthen out the calf. One more breath. And then shift forward, line up the wrists and the shoulders, picking up that left leg, bring it over to the right. So behind that right hamstring, toes tuck on the right side as you peek over your right shoulder. Breathe into that whole left side body. So from the left hip bone all the way up the side. Exhale it out first. And then inhale, bringing that left leg back through center. Left knee comes down. Bring both knees wide, big toes press in. We're going to push back to a child's pose. Forehead comes to the mat. Lengthen out the arms so fingertips can kind of crawl up towards the top of the mat. Option to come up onto the fingertips as if you had little apples underneath the palms of your hands. That just brings a little more opening into the shoulders. Just an option. Option to rock the forehead a little side to side, really connecting in with the third eye energy. That is your seat of intuition. Come back to your intention. What do you feel like you need right now? And does that still feel true for you now that we've moved some energy, we've got the breath going? And notice if your intention may change. Maybe it started out as something and it's fluidly shifted to something else, and that's okay. That means the energy is shifted in your mind. It's meant to do that. One more deep breath. Inhale and exhale. Fill up so much you feel it in your low back. And then on your next inhale, we'll rise up through table. Bring the knees in about hip width apart. Have your wrists slightly forward of your shoulders to set up for downward facing dog. So you're going to tuck the toes, engage the core, and then shift the hips up and back first. Knees stay bent initially, so the arms straighten, but not elbows locked out. Soft bend in the elbows. And then maybe you choose to lower one heel down, straightening one leg, and pedaling through the heels. Shake out the head just to make sure you're not carrying any tension in the neck. Notice your jaw. Does your jaw feel tense at all? Maybe open the mouth, move the chin side to side. We can hide tension in the littlest of places sometimes. And then settle into your down dog for one breath. Heels come toward the earth. Doesn't matter if they actually touch. Then on an inhale, let's lift the heels, bend the knees, baby step your way up to meet your hands. We'll hang in a forward fold at the top of the mat. You could also use a block to place your hands on to rise up the floor, just an option. You could ragdoll the arms, bending the elbows and clasping opposite elbows as another option. Feel free to sway. Shake out the head, loosen the jaw. And then exhale out. On the inhale, slowly rolling up. Arms could be long, or you can place them on your thighs for support. Eventually we meet in mountain. Shoulders roll back and down so the heart shines forward. Just peek at your feet for a moment. Make sure they're parallel, just not doing some interesting things with toes out or in. That helps keep the alignment in our legs in integrity. Draw the crown up toward the sky. I'm going to close the eyes down for a moment. Just kind of notice this soft, subtle energy you've created. Breathing deep as always. We're going to move through some soft sun salutations. Let's exhale out first. Blink the eyes open. We'll inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, we're going to cactus the arms again. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Maybe a little back bend, only if you want. Inhale, fingertips reach back up. Exhale, forward fold. Hands could come through heart center, or they could open wide like wings. Inhale to a half lift. Hands on the shins, draw the core up and in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise on up. Hands through heart center or open up like wings. Exhale, hands to heart. Excellent. And then we'll add on. Inhale, arms rise out and up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, fingertips rise. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. You're gonna bend your knees, plant your hands, and step back into a plank. Now, plank could be more like a tabletop position with knees down if you would prefer, or you could have both knees up. Just be mindful that your core is strongly drawing, so belly button is strongly drawing toward your spine. Gaze is a few inches in front of the fingertips. I'm gonna stay here for just one more breath. Then on your exhale, elbows are gonna squeeze in. You're gonna lower all the way down to the belly. Release your toes, so toenails on the mat. Walk your hands up by your face, coming into Sphinx. Inhale, rise the chest, slide the shoulders underneath, or the elbows underneath the shoulders. One of those body parts. And then draw the heart through. Soft gaze in front of you. Honor your eyes by just either closing them down or by focusing on one thing. One of the things I am realizing is that my eyes are getting really tired at night, and I'm doing a lot of scrolling. And I think our culture is just getting used to that. So to help sort of counteract some of that scrolling visual stimulation, we need to just kind of close it down and give our eyes a break. One more deep breath. And then on the exhale, slowly lower it down. Hands slide underneath the shoulders. And then we're gonna press back through table, and your choice, either child's pose or downward facing dog. You decide. Few breaths here.
Hi. Yeah, I signed up for a infrared.
It's upstairs.
Oh, it's upstairs.
Yep, just
So how
go.
do I, oh, like right over here?
Yep, just go up the stairs. Something got a little lost. From your downward facing dog, lifting up the heels, bending the knees, travel up to meet your hands. You could walk, you could float. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, fold it in. Inhale, you're gonna rise on up, either hands to heart center or arms open wide. Exhale, hands to heart, pull that intention in. Cleansing breath, inhale and exhale. And then we'll add on, inhale, arms rise out and up. Exhale, cactus, heart opens to sky. What can you receive today? Inhale, fingertips rise back up. Exhale to fold. Inhale, half lift, draw the core up and in. Exhale, fold, hands plant, stepping back to your plank. Remember, that could be more like table if you would prefer. Holding your version of plank for one cycle of breath, and inhale and exhale. On your exhale, elbows are gonna squeeze in. You're gonna lower all the way down to the belly. A little bit different this time. Release the toes first. 3 baby cobras. Inhale, rise the chest, squeeze the elbows in. Exhale, lower. And 2 more breaths at your own pace. So it might be different than mine or your neighbors. That's totally fine. When you exhale and lower, toes are going to tuck, pressing back through table. Again, your choice, downward dog or child's pose. We're gonna be here for a few breaths, so whichever one you would prefer. Let's kind of do a little check-in. What is your body really needing today? More movement, less movement? As long as you can breathe smooth and fluid through it all, then you're doing it perfectly for you. In downward facing dog, one more deep breath. Exhale it out. On the inhale, the heels rise, knees bend, travel up to meet your hands, however you'd like to get there, walking, floating. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising on up, greeting this new day. Light, love, all the things. Exhale, hands to heart. Pulling your intention in, one cycle of breath. Inhale, arms sweep out and up. Exhale to cactus, heart to sky. Inhale, fingertips reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, fold. Hands plant, stepping back into your version of table or plank. We're just here for one breath. On the exhale, elbows squeeze in, lowering all the way down. Release your toes. Inhale, one cobra. Lifting the chest, elbows squeeze in. Exhale to lower. Tuck the toes, pressing back. Downward facing dog. We're only going to be in this down dog for one breath. From here, we're going to set up for a low lunge. So let's lift the right leg up, three-legged dog. And then exhale, bring it all the way through. If your right hand needs to assist to help bring it forward, feel free. You want the front ankle and knee lined up. You may want some blocks to help rise up the floor or stacked books if you're at home. Inhale, bring the heart and the gaze forward. Really lengthen out through that back left heel. Exhale, straighten the front leg, folding it in. One cycle of breath here. Inhale, bending into that front knee. Runner's lunge again. Bring the heart and gaze forward. Lengthen through the spine. Exhale, straighten the leg, folding in. On the inhale, bending into that front knee. This time, left hand plants either on a block or on the mat. Sweep that right arm up into an open arm twist. See if you can extend hand to hand, opening the heart. Stay for an inhale. And then exhale, right hand floats back down. From here, you're going to walk to the left. If you're using blocks, you can take the blocks with you. So you just spin, so you parallel your feet. So you're in a wide-legged forward fold. So again, you can walk with the blocks. Exhale, fold it in. Hands could still stay on the blocks if you are using them. One more cycle of breath. Inhale and exhale. On the inhale, you're rising back up to the hands. Pivot back to the front of the mat in your runner's lunge. Take your blocks with you if you're using them. From here, move the blocks off to the side. Use your hands to frame the front foot. Step back into your plank. Holding here for one breath. Knees could be down if you would prefer. Exhale, lower all the way down. Release the toes. Inhale to your one cobra, lifting the chest. Elbows squeeze in. Lower it on down. Tuck the toes, press back. Downward facing dog. We're here just for one breath in your down dog. Second leg, here we go. Inhale, left leg lifts, three-legged dog. Bring it all the way through in between the hands. So if your left hand needs to kind of help assist it forward, that's fine. Use blocks if you did on the other side underneath the hands. Runner's lunge, bring the heart and gaze forward. Press through that right heel. And then exhale, straighten the front leg, folding in. Soft bend in that left knee. One more cycle of breath. Inhale back into your runner's lunge. Bend into that left knee. Lengthen out the spine. Exhale, straighten the front leg, folding in. Exhale first. Inhale, coming forward into your runner's lunge. Plant the right hand down, either on a block or on the mat. Sweep that left fingertips up toward the sky. Really open through the heart. Feel as if you're breathing hand to hand. So one hand sends the breath up, the other one sends it down. Stay for an inhale. And then exhale, left hand floats down. This time we're spinning to the right. So you can take your blocks with you if you'd like. Wide-legged forward fold, parallel the feet. Exhale, fold it in. Now, options here. If you like to stay right here, feel free to stay right here. If you want to start bending into one knee and the other, coming into like a standasana, I like to call it a ninja squat because that just sounds more fun. But options depending on your knee health. You can bend this very deeply if you'd like, bending in and flipping the opposite toes up. Just different options. Or you can stay in that wide-legged forward fold. Evening out from side to side. So equal number of times on each side. Come back into that wide-legged forward fold, parallel the feet. Fold in for a breath. And then inhale, coming back to that runner's lunge at the top of the mat. Pivot that back foot. Move the blocks off to the side. Hands come onto the mat. Stepping back plank. Exhale, lower all the way down, squeezing the elbows in. From here, we're going to pause here for a moment. Release the hands long by the side. Bring your chin to the mat. We're going to come into a round of locust. So hands could stay down by your side, or you could put them more in a T position or up overhead like Superman. So on your inhale, floating the chest and the legs up into locust. Stay for one more inhale. On the exhale, lower everything down, one ear to the mat. Bend the knees, tick-tock the feet side to side. Releasing the low back and the hips. And then floating the legs down. Pause here, heart to the earth. Breathe your intention, send it down into Mother Earth. Hands come underneath. The shoulders will press back, child's pose. Knees could be wide or narrow, you decide. Forehead comes to the mat or a block. Settling in here for a few breaths. Another check-in. You feel like you most need as we work into deeper layers of what the yogis call our koshas, our sheaths of consciousness. Kind of like the onion that begins to peel off layers. You still need what you had set your intention for at the beginning of class, in the middle of class. What has shifted for you? Deep breath in. Cleansing breath out. And then on the inhale, we'll walk the hands back toward yourself, coming into kneeling just for a moment. If you like, you can use a block. You can sit on the block if that's more comfortable. Bring the fingertips down to the side. Drop the right ear to the right shoulder. And get into the neck and upper traps. Please take your time as we slowly dip the chin downward. Neck muscles can be a little stubborn to release. So it's kind of as if you're moving centimeter by centimeter, rolling the chin toward the center of the chest. When you do get to the center of the chest, give it a really good tuck in, maybe feel it in the upper back. And then rolling up the opposite side. Moving little by little. So eventually left ear comes to left shoulder and gaze shifts forward. And then over these next few breaths, kind of yogi's choice, find a spot. There's always a spot, at least one, if not more, that you're going to revisit that feels extra tight or sticky. And then slowly begin to bring yourself back to a neutral head position. Take your time. All right, we're going to get into the soles of the feet. I'm just going to show this from the side. So come forward just a bit so you can tuck your toes. And I want you to kind of like push them back. So you're like spreading your toes. For some of you, this is going to be a very easy toe stretch. For some of you, you're going to give me some really dirty looks. So whatever happens, happens. So begin to walk your hips back. And this might be a place where you stay. So you feel like a nice stretch. If you have any kind of plantar fasciitis issues, this probably will be where you stay. If you can rise up, maybe hands come onto the thighs. Just be mindful that we're not clenching in the shoulders. Maybe you stack hips over the feet. It's another place to go. Some days I can do this, some days I can't. Soften through the shoulders. Couple more breaths. We're going to go someplace with here, maybe if you choose. From here, we're going to come into a squat. So this may be accessible for your toes or it may not. Some of you can actually roll up onto your knees so that your knees lift off. I cannot do that yet. I have to use my hands to help. Some people, yeah, see, there you go. Maybe in my next life that'll happen. I don't know. Option to keep fingertips onto the ground. This is going to become a balance. Option to rise up. Arms come out to the side. Here's a little fun trick. Let's try some eagle arms. So right arm comes under, left arm comes over. Hands could either come onto the shoulders or backs of hands together or palm to palm. If you're just doing the arms, your knees could be down as well. So this could also be where you're at. That's totally great. One more breath. Maybe the elbows rise up to shoulder. Inhale, arms come out, open wide. And then opposite, left arm under, right arm over, or whatever was opposite for you. Hands on shoulders, back of hands or palm to palm. One more breath. Exhale first. Inhale, arms open wide. Whew. Slowly landing back down. Toe stretch. Come forward. Release the toes, pat them out. Woo. Okay, come back. Take a block with you and come all the way onto our backs. We're gonna roll out the ankles too when we're there, but come all the way onto the backs, have a block nearby. Little feet action for you, help keep you grounded. Or something like that. From here, let's hug both knees into the chest to start. Just kind of just release the low back first. Maybe roll it out from side to side. Make little circles if that feels good. And then we're going to keep the right knee tucked in. Bring the left sole of the foot down to the earth. We're going to extend the right leg up, interlace the hands at either the back of the hamstring or the calf. We're going to roll out this right ankle. So pick a direction. Doesn't matter which way you start. Spread the toes. Work to the feet and the ankles a lot. So the reason why I do that is because I've been, like I said, I've been walking in around with boots on, these big tall boots. And we lose some of that when our foot and ankle are so stiff within a boot. Roll the ankle the opposite way. We tend to lose some of the integrity of all those little muscles and the tops of our feet, sole of the foot, ankle, all the things. And I'm looking forward. Hiking season is bound to be coming soon for me at some point. Maybe not today. Flex the foot, stamp the sky. And then point the toe. Feel the stretch down the shin. Keep the arch in the foot and pull the toes back, Barbie feet. Maybe that right leg comes a little bit closer to you, increasing that hamstring stretch. Release the foot. One more breath here. Exhale. And then bend that right knee, figure four. So you're going to externally rotate that right hip. So the outside of the right ankle comes onto the left thigh. You could keep the left foot planted, or you could lift it up, weaving the hands through and interlacing them at the left hamstring or shin. Few deep breaths here. Can you relax through the neck and upper back? Let it feel supported into the earth. Couple more deep breaths, just as you are. And then from here, moving on, release the hands if you've interlaced them. Cross that right leg all the way over the left. So if you're sitting cross-legged in a chair, arms come out to a T shape, and then bringing the knees over to the left. If they don't easily touch down, you can use that block to slide underneath the legs. If you don't like the legs crossed in a twist, then just unravel them and stack them instead. That's always a great option. Gaze comes over the right shoulder or up at the sky. Deep belly breaths here. Exhale it out. Inhale through center, bring the knees back to center. Give them both a good squeeze in, rock a little side to side, make some circles. And then this time the left knee is going to stay in, bring the right sole of the foot down to the earth. We'll extend the left leg up, interlacing the hands behind the hamstring or the calf. And begin to rotate that left ankle. Just pick a direction. Work out those muscles or lengthen those muscles we've strengthened. And then reverse the direction, opposite way. You can spread the toes as much as you can. Really articulate the movement. And then flex the foot as if you're stamping the sky. And then point. Feel the arch of the foot. And keep that arch in the foot. Just pull the toes back so you have Barbie feet. See if you can draw that left leg maybe a little bit more towards you. And release the foot, coming into figure four from here. Externally rotate that left hip, outside of the left ankle comes onto the right thigh. You could keep the right foot planted, opening up this right hip, or you could lift it, weaving the hands through either at the hamstring or the shin. Let the shoulders soften. Let the upper back release down into the earth. Notice your spine. Notice your spine supported on the earth. She is our connection to that which nurtures us. A few more deep breaths. Again, just as you are. And then from figure 4 coming into cross-legged. So release the hands, cross the left leg all the way over the right as if you're seated in a chair. Arms come out to a T. Again, if you don't like the legs crisscrossed in your twist, unravel them. We're gonna bring the knees over to the right. Maybe you use that block underneath the legs to rise up the floor for a little more support. Gaze can be over the opposite shoulder. If that doesn't feel good on the neck, it can stay looking up at the sky. Find your deep belly breaths. See if you can really send that breath down. One more cycle of breath. Exhale it out fully. On your inhale, rise your knees back through center, uncross the legs. Give them another squeeze in, release the low back. And then exhale, let's bring both soles of the feet onto the floor, knees bent. Grab your block. I'm gonna come into a restorative bridge. So walk your heels back so your knees and ankles are in alignment. On the inhale, rise the hips up. Slide the block either first or second height underneath the sacrum. Options could be to stay right here with the block nestled at your sacrum, or if you'd like, you can pick up one leg and the other. So legs rise up toward the sky. Again, it's just options. If your legs are up, feel free to move them in and out, bend them, maybe make a butterfly position or crisscross the legs. Just anything to kind of help the blood flow come into the heart and the head. And then when you feel ready on an exhale, lowering the legs down. Lift the hips up just enough to slide the block out and lowering the hips all the way down to the earth. Once your spine is on the mat, hug both knees into the chest, but bring them wide towards your armpits, setting up for happy baby. Flex the feet, reach for the soles of the feet and bring the soles up toward the sky. If the hands don't easily touch the soles of the feet, use your elbows to hook them behind the knees, the backs of the knees. That also works. And your happy baby, feel free to rock side to side. Final big inhale. On the exhale, release the feet, coming into your Shavasana. Legs could be long. Use any of the props you have by you or possibly cover up with a blanket. I will call you out when it is time. Being am I, spirit am I am the universe within my soul. Being am I, spirit am I am the universe within my soul. Being am I, spirit am I am the universe within my soul. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Drawing in a deep, deep breath. Bringing small movement into your body. As you bring in even some bigger movement into your body, thank your body for all the movement that it can do for you, but also acknowledging that you are not a body. You are infinitely more. You are spirit and the stuff of stars wrapped up in a body. How will you choose to take care of it today? When you feel ready, some bigger movement, either pulling the knees into the chest or rolling to one side, where we will close out class in a seated posture of your choice. Bringing hands together at heart center and pulling that intention in one last time. What do you really need? Not necessarily want, but what does your heart, your soul need to magnify the amazing spirit that you are? May you take that intention with you off of your mat into your day and gift it to every person you encounter. And the light within me honors the light within each of you. Namaste. Have an amazing rest of your Wednesday. Great to see all of you. Thanks for joining at home. Hope to see you soon. Thanks, Marianne. Good to see you.